last night we NASCAR Cup Series raced at Martinsville Speedway, and was one of the that race was one of the worst Martinsville races I've seen in a while. Let's get started with this race review. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of In the NASCAR. Today will be the Blue Moon Maximum Pain Relief 400 race review. And yes, as you guys can see, this is not my camera laptop. This was my phone. Guys, you know what's crazy? I just finished trying to make this episode, but the sound was horrible. It was way off. And I was having issues with the sound on my laptop. I tried playing the video after I finished, but its sound was muted. Like, I checked it was good, so I don't know what's going on with my laptop, but I'm gonna film on my phone today, so I won't be able to see the results. So, yeah, so first let's talk about the race. It wasn't really good, guys. This is one of the worst Martinsville races I've seen in a while. And yeah, it was dominated by two drivers, Chase Elliott and William Byron, and there was barely any passing, just like I said at the LA Clash earlier this year. So yeah, I don't know, something about these short tracks like Martinsville and Coliseum, they're both really skinny, but they just haven't produced good racing for me, in my opinion, right now. And I'm not sure at Martinsville. I'm not sure if it was because of the weather or it's because of how cold it was out there. I don't know. I really don't know why, but at the Clash, I think because of how skinny the track is. But I just really didn't see any passes throughout the field, so that's why I gave it the Clash a 3 out of 10. This race is probably going to be worse than that. Mostly because there wasn't really much of an exciting atmosphere. So first, let's talk about what happened in the race. So, green flag wave, and stage 1 was dominated by Chase Elliott. Stage 2, basically the same as stage 1, it was dominated by Chase Elliott. And stage 3, William Byron made a pit stop at the end of stage 2, got by Chase Elliott, and then just went off. And William Byron, he had a good car today. He really had a fast car today. He was one of the most fastest guys in the field, and William Byron, he deserved it. He absolutely 100% deserved this win. But this race wasn't really good. It just wasn't good. And yeah, and there was only 4 cautions. I know 2 of them are for stages, but there was only 2 cautions and 1 caution for an incident. 1 caution was for debris, and the other one was for Todd Gilliland hitting the wall. That was literally it. But this, I have to say this has to be also one of the most cleanest Martinsville races I've seen. So, but there was some bumping and banging, but not as much as we're used to seeing in the past. But as you guys know, Martinsville is usually known for bumping and banging and tracks like that and making passes on the outside. You couldn't do that. You literally couldn't do that. And yeah, like I said, there's not really much to talk about just because of how not so good this race was, not so entertaining this race was. But I will upload another episode of In the NASCAR. Hopefully my laptop can take the audio this time. Can take the audio this time. So yeah, so I could either upload another episode of In the NASCAR again later today, or upload one tomorrow morning. We'll see. But so on the final lap of the final restart, Logano did get to the back bumper of William Byron, but Byron just continued to hold on to it. And if Logano would have won, I would not be happy. But hey, I'm glad he didn't, and William Byron was able to get the job done. So good job, Byron. You deserved it. I'm happy for you, man. Byron Byron was so close to winning at this track a lot, and he finally did it in the new next gen car. So I'm happy for Byron. He deserved this 100% deserves this win. But this race wasn't really good. Wasn't good at all. And as you know, I love night races, especially Saturday nights. But this race was a letdown. It really was a letdown. Um, um, yeah. If it wasn't for the atmosphere I saw at the LA Clash, I would have given the LA Clash a lower score. But this race, I know it was a Saturday night race, but there was I know it was Saturday night race, but it really wasn't really that much of a difference. So I don't know if it was because of a track or what, but this race wasn't really good. Wasn't good at all, and so now I'm gonna go ahead and rate this race. I'm gonna go ahead and rate this race a 2 out of 10 for this one. A 2 out of 10 for this Martinsville race. Now, if you would have said if this would have been the Richmond 2020 race, I would pretty much give it a 0 out of 10 because it was so bad that you could barely make any passes. No passing. There was none of that. That race was worse than this one, but I admit since it was a short track and I saw a little bit of bumping and banging action, I would give this race a 2 out of 10. So that's basically why it's basically just a perfect score. And there was some. I'm gonna need to talk about this. Joe Gibbs Racing was absolutely horrible last night. They were horrible. Denny Hamlin was probably the worst. Was the worst of all of them. He had. I'm not sure what was going on with this car, but it sucked. He finished his 28, 3 laps down. Martin Truex Jr. This is a track where he's usually good at. And he didn't even make it up to the front either. He pretty much stayed in the middle of the pack. He finishes 21st. I don't know what happened to him. Kyle Busch, his handling was just horrible tonight. Even though I don't like Kyle Busch, I'm just telling you, Kyle Busch was just way off tonight. But he did finish back inside the top 10, though. Christopher Bell had a good car, got that speeding penalty, and just never was able to make it up to the front. And Bubba Wallace, he had a good car today, too. He got a penalty, and he also went to the back. Same with Colt Custer. He also got a penalty, and he also went to the back, and they never even recovered. So that's how much you can't even pass here. Pass in this race. So that's what let me get a huge letdown. A huge letdown. So was not good. This race was really not good at all. I do love like night races. Now, if it wasn't the day and if it was like this, man, it just. And in fact, if it wasn't for more bumping and banging action, if it wasn't more great entertainment races we saw in the back of the pack were 3 starts, and this race probably would have been a 1 out of 10. But again, Richmond, I just lost it at Richmond 2020, where that race was extremely awful. Like there was only literally one lead change, but there were only one lead change, and that was during the pit cycles. But Brad Keselowski, he dominated. I mean, he literally dominated the whole entire thing. So yeah, that's why I really didn't like Richmond. Not because of Keselowski winning, but there was barely any passing. Keselowski basically dominated that race. So, yeah, but Martinsville, this is a track that usually has a lot of great entertaining races. The Xfinity race was really good. It was one of the most greatest races of the Xfinity Series season. But I have to say this. I will make another video sometime today or tomorrow, which is about my opinion on the Ty Gibbs and Sam Mayer fight and the RFK Racing appeal penalty. So that's what you guys I need to look forward to. I'm not going to tell you guys the race results because I'm using my phone for me to make this video. So yeah, what do you guys think of this race? Let me know in the comments below. This race wasn't really good at all. There was barely any passing. Congratulations to William Byron for winning this race today, for winning this race last night. Anyways, this is Preston signing off. Peace out, y'all.